Hey, it's Joe Amoya, the Smarter Dating Guy. Happy holidays. I want to share a story with you. It's the story of the worst Christmas of my life. But the reason I want to share this story with you is because I understand what it's like not to have anybody for Christmas. To feel so alone and to feel like you're never going to have what you really desire. That's kind of why I decided to share this with you is, quite honestly, I wasn't planning on sending out a video and blog this week. As you see, I'm really not dressed for it. But yesterday, as I was sitting on the couch at my in-laws, watching the kids run around, like crazy little wild people opening their presents and just enjoying each other, sitting there watching, all the family members just really engage each other and have fun. I realized how really blessed I am. I've got a beautiful wife, I've got beautiful children, I've got great in-laws, I've got great family on both sides. But it wasn't always like that. I There was a time where I just sat there and just really got quiet. I was just kind of off in my own little world and just really reflected back to that time where it was the exact opposite, where I was just really alone, where I didn't have anybody to share that special time with. And there was a part of me that just believed that it was never going to happen, especially after what I just went through. See, this was back in 1998. It was that year that I was supposed to get married. I was supposed to get married in August. And so this was about 3 months later. And I was back into the dating world again. I was actually dating someone, but I knew it wasn't going anywhere. And so I don't want to say I was in a state of depression, but I was probably about as close as you can get. Um, I just was pretty much thinking that, what, it's just never going to happen for me. And so I was in my mind kind of coming to terms with it. No matter how much I wanted it, there was a part of me that was resolved that, what, it's probably not going to happen. But for some reason, I didn't give up. And a few months later, after doing some work on myself, and I started doing some things differently. I started thinking about what I was doing and where I was going, and I also started creating the results I wanted. And it wasn't long before I met my wife. Now, I'm not going to get into this law of attraction thing, because it's not just about putting up vision boards and watching a movie or hugging a tree and sing Kumbaya. It really is about you first and foremost believing it and then doing things in a certain way, taking action in a certain way, doing things smarter. But why I wanted to share this with you is because, if you were alone yesterday, I know we've got New Year's coming up in a couple of days, and you don't have that special someone to share your life with, it can get, depressing. And I get that. But what you have to realize is that there could be a time, it might be in a few months, it might be next year, it might be in 2 years, that ultimately you do have what you want. And when you do, none of that stuff matters anymore. None of the past heartache, none of the past loneliness, none of that matters, because you have what your heart desires. And so I wanted to share this with you today so that if you are in that place, do whatever you can just to get through it. And I remember that's when I was ever feeling down, I would just tell myself, I just got to get through this, whether it was for a day, a week, whatever it was. So if you are down and you're thinking it may not happen for you based on what your past has looked like, and you know what, the past doesn't matter. I think the past is a great learning lesson for us. The key is to learn from it and not repeat it. And so if you learn to become proactive and to do things a certain way, to do things smarter, you can quickly create the results you desire, because that's what I did. It's one of the reasons I put this whole smarter dating thing together, is because, believe me, I'm not Einstein by any means. I just started doing things a little differently. I started making smarter choices and decisions, started getting clear on what I was looking for. Got better at screening the people that I was ultimately going to start dating, asking better questions, finding out what they were looking for. and learning how to figure out whether we were good for each other before we got into a long relationship or another engagement. And so that's why, I created Smarter Dating. But one of the things we have going forward is I really want to bring a community together, because one of the things that used to frustrate me is when I was single again, because all my relatives and all my friends were all married and were all doing their own thing. I felt really alone. I felt like I was the only one going through it. And so what we're going to do in the new year is start bringing together the Smarter Dating community. Right now we've got over 1,000 members. And so I want you to know that you aren't alone. There are people going through the same thing. And do you ever notice how it's easier to pick out why your girlfriend or why your cousin or why your coworker should be doing things differently? Well, it helps when you have other people that you can communicate and work with who are on the same wavelengths, who only want to support you in your journey, not people to tell you what to do or how to do it or to make you wrong or to put your nose into how you're doing things wrong, but really, really to help and support you. And we've got a great, great community. And so I want to start bringing us all together. And so one of the things we're going to start doing is we have a Facebook fan page where everybody can engage and come together. So in the bottom of this blog, I'm going to give you a link for that. If you're not already a member, you haven't liked the page already, I want you to go there. And I'm going to start bringing conversations into play where we can all engage and interact with each other so that you don't have to feel you're alone. So that's just one of the many, many cool things we've got on store in the new year. But before I do that, as this year comes to an end, I want to thank you because, Smarter Dating started about a year ago, and we've grown and we've done some great things over this last year. But to me, it's just the beginning. But the message, and I'll say it over and over again, is that you can have what you desire and what you know you deserve. But it's up to you to make it happen. And it really, really doesn't have to be that hard. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to show you how to do it. All you got to do is be willing to do two things. Is to admit you don't know it all. And then being willing to learn a few things. And it really isn't that difficult, I promise. So I hope this helped. I hope it resonated with you. I look forward to seeing you over on the fan page, getting to know you a little better there. And as you know, if you have any questions, concerns, always send them to me. I'm here for you. Have an awesome day. We'll see you. God bless.